Are aftermarket coilovers really worth it for the BMW M140i? See, we've just bought an M140i that does actually have adaptive suspension from factory. And the thing is, I've basically driven every iteration of suspension that you can get on this thing, apart from Öhlins dampers, of course. But I've driven, you know, the B14 kit, the Bird's BMW kit, the regular B8 kit, and so on. And I found the Bird's kit is struck that perfect balance between road and track use. But I just want to see if the regular adaptive suspension is better. Like, do you really need to spend all that money on aftermarket coilovers, or should you just find an M140i with the adaptive suspension from the get-go? Well, today we are going to find out, because my name's Tom and you're watching Paragon Cars. Let's go. So firstly, how do you tell if your M140i has adaptive suspension? Well, there's one of two ways really. One is actually looking at the damper itself, so turn your wheel all the way to full lock, and then you can see this little bulge coming out the side of the damper, and that's basically the control unit that allows the damper to either go soft or hard. And then the other way is using a VIN decoder and looking for something called adaptive M suspension as an option. Anyway, starting over some bumps. Comfort mode feels very comfortable. The one thing I'm noticing immediately, actually, is the lack of that pogo effect that you get in the standard M140i. Yeah, it's just up, down, done. That is really interesting. Okay, let's go into sports now. So this puts the dampers in their sportier setting. And wow, yeah, you can immediately tell the difference. It's much, much stiffer. I mean, that's what you want, really, isn't it? Now, this, to me, feels like an M340i now. Like, in terms of stiffness. Obviously the steering gets heavier, but you get that with the regular 1 Series as well. Go over this bump a little bit quicker. Yeah, it feels really, really rock solid now. But for driving around town in comfort mode, hit this bump a bit quicker. And yeah, it's so lovely and supple now. The thing is, it's more supple than a stock 140, but it still doesn't have that pogoing effect that the stock 140 has. This is so much better already. But where it's really going to shine is on a bit of B-road. So let's go to one now and see where this really differs from a stock one. Okay, I've set some cameras up on the outside to hopefully see what's going on. So we're starting off in comfort mode, and we're just going to drive like I regularly would. Not particularly fast, not particularly slow. Then we're going to come back in sports mode and see if we can actually see the difference in stiffness down this B road. But I have to say, it just feels so well sorted, so much better already than a stock 140. It just feels so tidy. Like that bump there, amazing. Feels absolutely extraordinary. So comfort mode, I'm going to say is a 10 out of 10 for this. Right, Sports Plus, so that's stiffest setting on damping, stiffer steering, increased throttle response, and it turns the traction control off, but leaves the stability control on. I'm going to go for a manual gearbox as well, just because, you know, pulling paddles is always fun, isn't it? Now, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the difference, but I can certainly feel the difference. It feels way stiffer. Like, to put this in perspective, if you've ever driven a Golf R or a Cupra with dynamic chassis control, there's like a difference, but it's not like huge in terms of difference. But this is phenomenally different. Right, let's see if we can actually see the difference. Right, side-by-side comparison. It just feels so planted. Oh, I'm so annoyed that I didn't get an M140i with adaptive suspension from factory. Oh, it's so different. The lack of body roll now is, I mean, it's amazing. It's literally like a new M340i. Right, let's see what the difference is on the faster stuff. So starting off in comfort mode again, just in regular auto, as you would daily drive this thing. Let's see how much body roll there is. Now obviously being comfort mode, there's probably going to be quite a lot of body roll. But just coming around this roundabout, I mean, to be fair, it's still quite flat. Pick up the speed a little bit through here. It's just well damped. It feels like a much, much better car. Right, okay, same thing but sports mode now. Let's see what the difference is. Oh wow, yeah, you can really feel the chassis tighten up a lot. Crikey. And I feel like quite a lot more confident pushing the car now, actually, compared to my stock one. Let's see what it's like under braking, because I bet there's a lot less pitch and roll. Yeah. It just feels more stable in everything you're doing. Literally everything. Do you know what? It's actually made the steering feel nicer somehow. I don't understand how that works. But the steering feels almost like sharper. You know, like coming around that corner, it settles a lot more. You don't get that pogoing effect over bumps in the corners. And that's actually quite similar to what the Bird's suspension system, or just B8 or B14 dampers do. But do you know what? I feel like this is kind of doing it better, if anything. Oh, it just feels like it should have done from factory. Why this car didn't come with adaptive suspension as standard, I don't know. It is so... I cannot tell you enough how much better this system is than the stock suspension. It is night and day. Literally night and day. So, in conclusion then, I mean, it's fairly obvious. This is well worth the money. I mean... honestly, I was expecting them to be a little bit better, but I was expecting them to still have that pogoing effect that the stock car has. This has completely eliminated that. Completely. This M140i now drives like it should have done from factory. So much better. And on that note, is it worth getting aftermarket coilovers? Or should you just find an M140i with adaptive suspension? You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Just find one that's got adaptive dampers from factory. Just, honestly, if you find an M140i and you're looking to buy one that's got adaptive dampers, buy it. Just buy it. It's so much better. And on that note, I am now quite sad, very sad, that I didn't get an M140i with adaptive dampers. Oh dear. Anyway, as always, I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope you learned something today. I certainly did. I learned that adaptive suspension is well worth the money. If you like this content, please give us a like and why not subscribe, as not only can you see more content like this, you can of course see what we have for sale, which today includes this M140i. Genuinely, I can't believe how good this car is. It is absolutely gobsacked me. Anyway, my name has been Tom, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.